Okay, as you can see, we have Dimaga against Strelok. It's the StarCraftWorld.it King of the Hill number 7. We have a Terran versus Zerg. At the bottom left, we have Dimaga starting as the red Zerg player on Xel'Naga Caverns. And at the top right now, we have his opponent. We have Strelok. And the Terran player is starting in blue. And Strelok, being a very, very good player, of course, had he had a little bit of trouble at the last events that he attended, but still, Dimaga, being a very good Zerg player himself, will probably try to give him some troubles. He won the last King of the Hill, won 100 euros, was able to defeat Whitera, and Strelok is his new opponent, is the Terran player that dares to challenge the Zerg player from the Ukraine. And on this map, of course, Strelok could start off with a double barracks opening, and the main question for us right now is if Dimaga is going for a 15 hatch this time, or if he's just trying to get an early gas and a pool and play it a little bit more safe. He's getting a scout up at the 13 drone mark, and we are on 13 drones for the Zerg player right now, whereas Strelok just started his first barracks. No refinery for him just yet, so he will have to decide whether he's going to start with the second barracks or if he's going to get gas. Whereas Dimaga is not building a pool so far. He's on 15 supply right now, probably going for that hatch first that was already talking about. As you can see on the production tab at the top left, his opponent, the Terran player, already started his refinery, so we definitely won't see an aggressive opening by Strelok. And here the hatch first for Dimaga just started, and he's already on 16 drones again. So he started the hatch at 16 drones, not at 15, and is droning up once more. He already scouted his opponent. The drone is inside the main base of the Terran player. It's just now trying to block off this spot so that Strelok can't wall off completely, but the SCV is chasing off the drone, and here comes the second supply depot. So there's no problem for Strelok at all just to fend that scout off. And of course he's upgrading already to his orbital command, trying to get that additional mule in order to boost his income. And a second gas fairly soon for Strelok. So he's on roughly 80 gas right now. He's going for factory, and after that we'll see if he decides to go for a Hellion play, maybe with medevac to go so for some drop play, or even getting a Banshee in order to harass his opponent with or without cloak. Right now the expansion for Dimaga is on its way in his main base. As you can see, the pool is nearly finished as well, and of course he has his extractor ready, trying to get that 100 gas to get his speed for the Zerglings. We have in the main base of the Terran player already the reactor being built, and the factory is in place as well, so this is going to be Hellions. And there are quite a lot of Terran players lately that try to hide that barracks just a little bit in order to add that add-on to add a reactor or a tech lab without the Zerg player knowing about it, because that way you are, well, in a pretty good place. The opponent doesn't know what you're going to do, if you're going to play Hellions, if you're going for some Blue Flame Hellion play, or for Banshees or whatever. So it definitely doesn't have any idea what's going on. The major upset of this strategy, when you just try to wall off these supply depots over there, is that you are very vulnerable to any Baneling Bust play, or for example as well vulnerable to roaches. So you always have to be careful about what your opponent is doing, and try to scout as much as possible and get a good idea of what the Zerg player is trying to do. And in this game, Strelok is in a fairly good position. He's trying to get his starport right now, already producing the first Hellions. As you can see, we have a tech lab. So this looks like a pretty classical move, starting off with Hellions and just harass the economy of your opponent, try to kill those drones at the natural. Xel'Naga Caverns is a map where you have a lot of space around your natural, and therefore it's very, very hard to defend. And after that, just follow up with some Banshee play. But we have that attack with the roaches by Dimaga. Dimaga now trying to kill those Hellions, and as you can see, the roaches stream toward the main base of his opponent. And what does Strelok do? He immediately starts with the bunker. He wants to get that bunker to be able to fend this push of his opponent off, and this isn't going to be easy. But Strelok is, well, he is a little bit lucky, because his opponent is not trying to all in him. He's just trying to get this roach push to deal some initial damage while he's droning up and now just getting his metabolic boost. So with this play right now, Strelok only has to defend against those 6 roaches right there, and the Zerglings, of course, but this is going to be difficult as well. The supply depot being focused down. The SCVs are there in time to repair it, and Dimaga will have to retreat. The bunker in a very good position, and those 2 roaches just die in addition to the Zerglings that he already killed, and the last roach is barely able to escape. escape. So Dimaga not able to deal any damage at all, but he was at least able to force his opponent to get that bunker and of course build that engineering bay in order to block off and help with that supply depot just a little bit. He cancelled it right now, as you can see, and still we have KotH on its way. There is one Banshee already in the vicinity of the Zerg player's base, and KotH is ready right now. There's no detection for Dimaga whatsoever. The Queen is going to die, and now the evolution chamber being built for Dimaga, but will it be there in time? The Queen is already dead. 2 additional drones got killed so far as well, and now the Zerg player is in a lot of trouble. Strelok being able to deal a lot of damage with the Banshee after fending off that roach push of his opponent. First Spore Crawler is being built, but the second Queen will probably die as well. This is huge for Strelok, killing both Queens and the drones as well. Very good position right now for the Terran player. Next Queen is popping out, and soon the Spore Crawlers will be in position as well, being able to detect the cloaked Banshee. But Strelok is just retreating with his area unit as soon as this detection is up for the Zerg player. He was already able to deal a lot of damage to the economy of Dimaga though. 14 kills for that one Banshee, and of course the Roaches are still on the map trying to find a position where they can deal some damage, having a look at the natural of the Terran player, maybe just trying to kill an SCV or two, trying to kill an expansion, delayed a little bit. But so far, the command center, the second command center of Strelok wasn't used at all. He's just using it right now to get his orbital command, to get a second mule, and in the meantime he's harassing once again with all those air units, forcing Dimaga to build additional Spore Crawlers, to waste more drones on buildings, waste more minerals on being able to fend off that airplay by Strelok. Very, very solid opening by the Terran player. And yeah, Dimaga now trying to get a ninja expansion at the right side of the map, trying to sneak in another hatchery, and this might be able to get him back into the game because he lost a fair amount of units. As you can see, 17 workers killed so far, only 3 for Dimaga, and with a 62 against 52 supply, Strelok is way ahead right now. The Roaches will die as well, just trying to block off that spot with the command center, with the orbital command for just 2 or 3 additional seconds, but that's about it. The 3 Banshees and the 4th one coming up as well will be able to fend off the Roaches, and of course now the Terran player is in a really good position. 47 worker supply again for Dimaga, but he doesn't have any army supply whatsoever, and Strelok with his 31 workers, of course, already has 2 additional mules. He can use the energy of those 2 orbital commands. It's just so important for him right now, and this is going to be a horrible push, and Dimaga will have a lot of trouble fending that off. There are a lot of Banshees, 4 in total. We have Marauders with concussive shell. Stim will be ready in a second, and this is a brutal combination. The Hellions will be able to deal with the Zerglings, whereas the Banshees and of course the Marauder will take care of all of those Roaches. Will Dimaga die to that push? Strelok is moving forward. The 3rd base of Dimaga is already up, and here's the Bio Army of Strelok trying to kill those Spore Crawlers, and the Zerglings not being attacked by the Hellions, but the Banshees doing a beautiful job at defending against the units provided by the Zerg player. Take position on top of that ramp, trying to kill all the reinforcements, and the macro hatch of Dimaga will probably not live for that long because it's being attacked right now, but the Queen is trying to save the day, being killed as well. And now Strelok with 81 against 73 supply. The Zerg player is supply blocked as well, trying to get additional Roaches into the game, and most of the bio units of Strelok are already gone. Reinforcements streaming in, but he's losing drones left, right, bottom and center right now. And of course those Banshees are still a huge threat to the Zerg player. The Roaches will die to the Banshees. There's just not enough anti-air for the Zerg player. Right now he only has those 2 Queens, and they will fall victim to the Banshees if Strelok is actually going to focus them, which he doesn't do right now. And Dimaga going for 26 Zerglings. He's just trying to get aggressive himself because he knows all too well that he won't be able to defend against this push of his opponent. The next Queen, the 2nd Queen, is dying. The Marauder doing an awesome job, and of course once again the Banshees are in position, killing the gas of the Zerg player. Dimaga down to 46 supply right now, 70 supply for Strelok, and he's busy in his main base, not microing those Banshees whatsoever. Dimaga with his hatch at the at the 3 o'clock not star position, at the 3 o'clock position is not able to get all that many minerals right now. 700 against 1,700 minerals per minute. And here we go once again, the Zerg player trying to get aggressive, but he is overrun by all those units of the Terran player. Well, actually he's not, but the bunker is being repaired. Oh, and a huge blunder by Strelok. He's not using those supply depots to block off his ramp, and now he's in a little bit of trouble. The roaches will be able, yes, taking out that tank. The SCV's not there in time, but there are not enough units left for Dimaga, and he's just getting annihilated with this push. Dimaga lost a lot of units and resources, as you can see. 7,300 resources lost for the Ukrainian Zerg player, whereas Strelok only lost 4,600. Let's have a look at the workers killed. This is brutal. This is a brutal picture. Just have a look at that. Dimaga, he was able to kill 3 workers. That's about it. 3 SCVs. And on the other side, we have Strelok with 42 worker kills. This is just amazing. Strelok being able to really put his mark onto this game, and Dimaga is struggling quite a lot. He's the current StarCraftWorld.it champion, and he's struggling quite a bit. Now we have Strelok getting upgrades. He's getting the +1 attack upgrade for his bio army. Already has a bunch of Marines out on the field, as well as a Medivac. Will be able to drop up onto the cliff, up into the main base of his opponent if he chooses to do so. And of course, the Zerg player now just trying to saturate the mineral line at his ninja expansion, which Strelok doesn't know about yet. And of course, in the main base, once again, we have Dimaga with unit production. He's trying to get enough units to fend off pushes of the Terran player. He's on 41 drones right now against 51 SCVs. And of course, don't forget about those mules as well. Strelok moving out right now. He has 65 army supply, is nearing 70, and therefore has more than double the army supply of his opponent. The worker supply is about even, but keep in mind that the queens are actually being counted as worker supply, not army supply. So as soon as the Strelok chooses to attack his opponent, Dimaga will be in quite a lot of trouble and has to put a lot of effort into defending against any aggression by the Terran player. And here's that drop that I was talking about earlier. He's using that elevator play to get on top of that cliff and now attack the main base of his opponent. But two Banelings are already positioned, and Strelok is moving his army back, but attacking with his units at the natural of the Zerg player. And as you can see, the tanks are already in position. Will the Banelings be able to get to the Marines? It doesn't look like it. Some of them are able to make it, not being killed by the tank, but there are just too many Marines right now with the +1 attack upgrade, and Strelok is killing so many units of Dimaga. Dimaga in so much trouble. He's losing another queen. Down to 75 supply against 100. Strelok being able to kill that macro hedge, the Zerglings streaming in with the help of the Broodlings, but this doesn't look like Dimaga will be able to defend. He's just able to force Strelok to retreat for a short while, but at the same time, the Terran player already put up an expansion at the gold minerals, is getting that planetary fortress upgrade, just walking down, streaming down with additional bunch of units, so Dimaga in a lot of trouble. But no! Strelok not paying attention and losing quite a lot of Marines right there to those Banelings, but still, he's in such a huge lead that he can afford it. He's getting the +2 attack upgrade right now for the Marines, and at the same time, that Banshee already has 30 kills. It's still alive, so that hero Banshee from the start with the 17 worker kills is still alive and kicking, was able to deal a lot of damage in the first attack of Strelok, as you might remember, and now it's killing that queen over there. Still 110 energy for that Banshee, even though it only has 5 HP. There's no detection whatsoever at the ninja expansion of Dimaga, and now 31 kills. The main fight's going on right over there, and once again Strelok using his medivacs to rescue his Marines, while that Banshee is getting kill after kill. 36 kills right now, trying to take out that hatchery. And of course now the Marines are taking care of those Zerglings. The Banelings exploding, but not being able to kill enough Marines. Here comes the GG and the first game in this best of 5 series by StarCraft World IT is going to Dimaga. To Strelok, of course. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. StarCraftWorld.it King of the Hill, a best of 5 between Dimaga and Strelok. This is game number 2. We're on Scrap Station. Dimaga lost the first map. Strelok was able to win on Xelnaga Caverns. And it's actually quite funny. If you have a look at those two guys and just have a look at their history, then you realize that they played an awful amount of matches against each other. In tournaments and leagues, they played 40 matches, and both of them won 20 of them. So this is actually quite impressive. So they are really, really even in a skill, and they know each other's style inside out. We're now on Scrap Station, and we have Dimaga at the left start position, where Strelok is starting once again as the blue Terran at the right side of the map. Scrap Station, of course, is well, there are actually quite a lot of Zerg players that don't like that map anymore. Usually what you would say is that Scrap Station is a very good map for Zerg because the choke that you have to defend as the Zerg's opponent is quite huge, and you can easily bust up the choke, use roaches, banelings, whatever. And of course those close air positions and all that dead space surrounding those bases, as you can see, is one reason why Zerg likes to play that map, because you can use Mutalisks, can just attack the main base of your opponent and always retreat to the dead space surrounding his main base. But lately, a lot of Zerg players basically stated that they still think that the map is in favor of Zerg, but they don't like it that much anymore, because there are quite a lot of spots where a Terran player can be very, very aggressive and is in a good position. So yeah, Dimaga chose that map, and he's going for that hatch first. Once again, as you can see, he's already on 70 worker supply. He built the hatch at 16 supply once again, and his opponent is getting that refinery. So although he was... Well, actually not all, though. He was quite successful on Xelnaga Caverns, so there's no good reason for him to change his strategy, especially with on a map like that, where he can also try to get his Banshees or just expand again if he chooses to do so. But he's lifting off his barracks, is placing it down at the bottom of the ramp, and is adding a tap lab right away. We're probably going to see a Reaper, just for scouting reasons. A few Terrans have tried to introduce the Reapers back into their style against Zerg, not only just one of them for scouting reasons, but also maybe 2, 3, at some point even 5 or 6 Reapers. I've even seen one Terran player in one of the tournaments I casted lately to get a factory in order to get the Nitro Packs once again. Reminded me a little bit of the old days when Moro was still playing Terran and abusing that 6-Rex Reaper style against Zergs, which was actually kind of fun to cast back then. And when you are facing Reapers, first Reapers being built, by the way, for Strelok right now, and he's getting that expansion as well, so getting an early command center. He's still harvesting gas though. Well, but for Zerg play, it's very, very important if you're facing a Reaper play that you really stay on your creep. As soon as the speed for those Zerglings is done, you can go off creep and attack those Reapers, because your Zerglings will always be faster than the Reapers. But as long as you don't have speed, you really need to be careful. If your Zerglings are off creep, they are slower than the Reaper. The Reaper only needs 2 kills in order to kill a Zergling, but on creep you get that additional speed when you're a Zerg player, that small bonus, and it's actually enough to just chase down or hunt down a Reaper, so therefore you will always have to be careful about that. Yeah, and in the early stages of StarCraft 2, players like, for example, Idra, choose to not use the energy of the Queen for lava, but the initial energy was being used for tumor in order to spread that creep a little bit further outside your base, so that you were able to deal with that Reaper harass. Right now, he's trying to kill drones, trying to get a glimpse of what's happening. The second drone is being killed right now. Oh, actually it isn't. Not paying too much attention, just using the attack move and not a right click to kill that drone. Therefore, the Queen is in his way, and the Reaper not focusing down that unit. And the speed is done, and the result is that the Reaper is slower than the Zerglings, and therefore die as a painful death. And we have Infernal Pre-Igniter being researched. As you can see, it's still the old icon with the red flame. In the new patch, it's a blue flame icon to make those blue flame Hellions even more scarier. And we have the perfect counter to Zerglings and, of course, 2 drones. And as he's getting a starport, we are going to expect a medivac and a drop plane to the main base But for now, the Hellions are just trying to defend those destructible rocks, the backdoor to his expansion, in order to fend off any run-by attacks. As you can see right now, units killed, worker killed, fairly even, not too much was happening so far. Dimaga is in the lead with 47 supply against 38, which is basically all due to his worker supply. He's on 48 worker supply right now against 27. So in terms of worker supply, Strelok is really far behind. But yeah, where's that medivac? That medivac being built. And now Strelok is using one Viking, and I'm actually surprised that he didn't wait for that Viking to be built before he started the medivac, because usually I would have expected him to try to kill those overlords before he used the drop play. But he's building the Viking after the medivac, is trying to put that aggression on the Zerg player a little bit earlier than usual. And here you can see that one medivac with 7 Marines, and of course the diversion, all those Hellions with blue flame now just attacking the entrance and the expansion of the Zerg player. And at the same time we're jumping to the top and seeing Strelok dropping all those Marines at the mineral line of his opponent, microing his Hellions at the same time, trying to kill as many units of his opponent as possible, killing off all those drones as well as the Zerglings. And the Marines are still in a very good position, are still trying to kill that spawning pool, deal some damage, kill the buildings of the Zerg player, and he's able to snipe the spawning pool. There are no more Hellions. The Hellions are dead by now. How many units was he able to kill? He lost 14 workers. Dimaga losing 14 workers, but because he had such a huge lead in worker supply, he basically, well, he kind of can afford it. Of course, it's never funny to lose 14 workers, and it's still a huge blow to his economy, especially because he didn't kill that drop. He didn't kill the Marines, neither did he kill the medivac. He was only able to take out those Hellions, and now he's losing an Overlord as well. So Dimaga in a quite a tough situation right now. He needs to be careful. He's getting those 7 Mutalisks now. His Spire is finished, and he's trying to deal some damage himself. He needs to take out that medivac first, but there are no... he's just trying to save that one Marine. That's actually a hero medivac. Just trying to get one safe Private Ryan, but well, Private Ryan was killed in the medivac right now. So yeah, this is of course tragic ending to the story. Another medivac waypoint mistake for Strelok right now, losing a second medivac, and of course he's building missile turrets. Is on 67 supply right now, 76 for the Zerg player, and additional Mutalisks are being built. As you can see, there are only a bunch of Marines trying to defend. They don't have combat shield just yet, not even stim. And here we go, Dimaga killing so many units right now. There's only that one missile turret, but no real anti-air to speak of. The refinery is about to die, and Dimaga at the same time is getting a ninja expansion at the gold minerals at the bottom left of the map. And of course that medivac will try to save those Marines over there. He basically forgot them. Well, I really don't know if it was intentional, but I suppose that he forgot them, and Dimaga trying to snipe the engineering bay in order to deny the upgrade, and of course the ability to build additional turrets. And oh my god, so many SCVs trying to repair the engineering bay, dying to those Mutalisks. There are quite a lot of them. We have 14 Mutalisks on the field right now. 20 Marines are trying to deal with the threat. There's no stim just yet, no combat shield either. So those Marines are really in a tough situation, but the Mutalisks have to retreat. There are just too many anti-air units by now. But as you can see, he was able to deal a lot of damage himself, killing 19 workers. That more than makes up for the 14 drones that he lost earlier on. And right now we have Dimaga on 47 worker supply and 42 army supply, getting another expansion, as I already mentioned, at the bottom left at the gold mineral patch. It's up right now, so he needs to saturate those mineral patches, and then he's in a really good spot. Whereas the Baning Nest is being built by the Terran player, and once again Dimaga harassing with those Mutalisks, being a pain in the ass. And Strelok must be so annoyed by those Mutalisks right now. The destructible rocks are being attacked as well. The supply depot is down already. The Marines being focused
and there's just still one missile turret missing in order to enable Strelok to deal with that situation. A tank being focused, and Strelok trying to put some pressure on his opponent as well, just trying to put some pressure on the Zerg player with that marine and tank push. But right now Dimaga is just attacking his main bases, trying to kill off maybe those tech labs, maybe those refineries in order to deny the gas for his opponent. Oh, he needs to be a little bit more careful, and actually this is a very tough spot he's in right now. Is Strelok actually... No, he's not. Strelok apparently knows about the expansion. No, he doesn't. He's just trying to scout. He knows that there's no third base of Dimaga right now at this position, so he assumes that there must be an expansion at some other point on the map, and he's right about that. Scouting that goal expansion, killing the queen, moving in with all those marines, taking out the workers of his opponent, losing one tank. Oh, beautiful! Well done by Strelok. There's only one Baneling hits the mark, and at the same time, he's able to take out so many of them without taking any damage at all, but there are not enough marines left to survive against those Mutalisks, and they just clear out the tanks, the marines, and the medivacs as well. Strelok is on 80 supply. He was not able to kill that hatchery. That hatchery is still alive. There's one drop in the main base of Dimaga. Dimaga trying to defend against it, and once again, of course, the Terran player using his stim ability to kill as many drones as possible, but the reinforcements of Strelok moving in. The queen dies nonetheless, and the medivac is retreating. There's only one Mutalisk left, and he should be careful because, yes, here we go. Dimaga is losing another. No, he's actually just realizing what's happening in time. Oh, and the Mutalisk is getting friends. Here we go. All those marines just die, and now Strelok, well, he's done it. He's done playing nice. He's just taking out that hatchery, trying to deny that additional income for his opponent, losing the marines, but he doesn't give a damn. And of course, Dimaga has to rebuild his hatchery, and this is exactly what he's doing right now. He's on 90 supply at the moment, and we have him on 2 bases against Strelok with 2 bases as well. Let's have a look at the army supply. It's 49 worker supply against 51, and right now, yes, Strelok is in the lead. He is in the lead regarding his economy, and his army supply isn't looking too shabby as well. Killing off that tech lab and placing down another barracks close of the wall. And once again, the destructible rocks are being attacked by Dimaga, trying to get access to that natural expansion, getting the +1 attack upgrade for the Zerglings and the Mutalisks as well. As you can see, there are additional Mutalisks flying towards the expansion of his opponent. 17 so far. Woo-hoo-hoo! The Banelings! Hell yeah! Just killing off so many SCVs, and Strelok is running towards his expansion in order to defend against those units of the Zerg player, but he's in a really defensive position right now. He always tries to be a little bit more aggressive, just to take out the gold expansion, take out additional units, but he's in a really defensive spot right now, and he's struggling to get back into the game. He's on 100 supply though, and even though he just lost a lot of SCVs due to that attack, he still has a 39 worker supply. He's getting additional income by using his mules, and will probably try to build additional SCVs as well as soon as he can. That gold expansion is going to die once again. There's a fair amount of marines out on the field. They have the +1 attack upgrade, stim, and combat shield by now, of course, as well. The +1 armor is being researched, and here we go. The hatchery just dies to the push of the Terran player. At the same time, we have another drop going on the main base of Strelok, and here come all those Mutalisks. Way too many Mutalisks for Strelok's drop to survive, and now the Terran player is trying to get into position against the 3rd base of Dimaga. He built another hatchery. He's trying to get additional income because right now his economy isn't looking all too good, to be honest. And he has to attack into the siege tanks. Always a situation you want to avoid when you're a Zerg player. And losing tons of units, splitting the Banelings, but the Marine split. The Marine split of Strelok is fairly good, but there's just not enough. There are not enough units for the Terran player, but the reinforcements are able to take out a lot of units. Dimaga attacking into the stiff Marines, and he's barely able to survive that. He's actually retreating when there are only 4 Marines left, waiting for another stim of Strelok. And there we go. The Marines are dead. The tank will die as well. But Dimaga lost a huge amount of units. He lost 13,000 resources so far. And the Terran player didn't lose very, very much more than the Zerg player did already. Using some nice unit control. Very nice stutter step by the Terran player. Using that gap beautifully. And those Marines did an awesome amount of damage. Brilliant, well played by Strelok, getting a third base himself right now. He's on 1-1 upgrade so far. And of course, Dimaga getting additional upgrades as well. He's trying to research the +2 attack upgrade, while Strelok is calling down so many mules at his third base, trying to establish that planetary fortress. And Dimaga getting the +1 armor upgrade as well, getting Burrow, and is still sticking to his Mutiling Baneling play, but he only has 9 Mutilisks, so this is actually very well. Dimaga, for most of the game, he was in the lead. He was taking the aggressive part, but now he's in a kind of a trouble because his main bases are empty. He needs to get some additional income, and his advantage is gone. Strelok defending beautifully. That command center, that planetary fortress is up and running, and now Strelok with a huge amount of Marines. He is able to fight his way back into this game, killing that spying crawler, and now just trying to prevent those Banelings from hatching. But the Banelings taking out so many Marines, but it's not enough. It's not enough. There is still a fair number of Marines attacking that base, and Dimaga now in a tough spot. He's dropping in supply. He's on 57 against 70 right now, and he only has 1 mining base. And is that, yes, that hatch is going to die. Strelok is able to take it out, is suiciding some of his Marines. The base is down, as you can see. Those are the last few mineral patches that Dimaga is able to harvest. He's on 76 supply right now. In this game, he's just going back and forth. Dimaga with the solid opening, dealing a lot of damage to Strelok. And those Mutilisks were such a pain in the ass. But right now, Strelok is defending just beautifully against the attacks of the Zerg player. Was able to expand again to get access to those mineral patches, setting up that planetary fortress. And Dimaga really has to put some effort into winning this game after all. Now Strelok just making sure that there's no expansion at the gold mineral patches whatsoever. Very, very nice game so far. There's still 1 medivac, and he's able to drop again, which is exactly what he's going to do. At the same time, well, I would love Strelok just to get additional upgrades, for his Marines. He doesn't do that at all. He's sticking with a 1-1 upgrade and not researching the +2. I don't think he has armory. I don't think there's an armory in the game. And all those Zerglings, will they be able to deal enough damage to the Zerg, to the Terran player? He's not able to wall off, and losing all those Marines, losing the tank as well. And the Zerglings in a beautiful spot. Strelok right now in a lot of trouble. The Zerglings are inside his main base, and now the Mutilisks need to pay attention not to fly into those turrets. But what are those units doing? He's just taking out... Beautiful Banelings taking out the Marines, and Strelok down to 65 supply, but dropping the economy of his opponent once again, trying to get all those... trying to get a coffin for all those drones, and Dimaga is losing unit after unit. He's down to 21 drones right now, and yeah, at the same time trying to get that third base once again. He needs some income. He's really low on income. He's on 420 right now against 660, not getting any gas whatsoever, and Strelok still dropping his opponent while he's being attacked himself in his main base. The Zerglings are still attacking SCVs and of course the production buildings as well. As you can see, the Terran player is losing a lot of workers. 61 killed by Strelok and 47 by Dimaga, and there are still Zerglings running into the expansions of the Terran player. That single siege tank trying to defend, but it's not enough. The SCVs are not in a good position to repair, and now they need to retreat towards the planetary fortress because they will be killed by those Zerglings in an instant. 2 attack upgrades and 1 armor upgrade. He needs to fly away with those barracks, and now the expansion is up and running for Dimaga while he is still being attacked by those drops by Strelok. How many drones does Dimaga have? 21 drones are left, and he needs to saturate his third base, which he's doing right now. This is really a really close game. 32 supply for Strelok. but he's still able to build units. He's getting tanks and of course Marines, but those Zerglings are giving him a hard time, and of course they are in a beautiful position right between the barracks, and as soon as those Marines pop out, they are being attacked one by a bunch of Zerglings, and yeah, now he's losing. The Terran player is losing production building after production building. He's losing all his production capabilities. And as soon as he is losing those supply depots, Strelok will have a hard time in replenishing his army. He's on 24 supply already, and that medivac, well, probably won't last. 13 hit points left, 2 more shots of the Mutalisk, and it will be dead, but yeah, double kill. Here we go. And of course, Strelok still has access to those mineral patches. The Planetary Fortress is just a really tough building to deal with, and Dimaga doesn't want it to attack the last buildings of Strelok head on. He's just happy with being able to deny the production of the Terran player, and is now trying to get his own army up and running once again. He's on 55 supply. As you can see, we have him on 31 army supply against 13, and Dimaga in a very good spot after all to win this game. Of course, he knows about the danger of the Terran player expanding once again to this position, and that's exactly what Strelok is trying to do. But the rocks are gone, and Dimaga will be able to deny that expansion. There are not enough units for Strelok right now to defend against them. 9 Marines, that's all he's got, and this is not enough to deal with Dimaga. But Dimaga shouldn't get too cocky. Still, Strelok is able to build units. He has some income, is able to use that mule, and Dimaga just trying to play it safe now, getting that gold expansion, and of course trying to save his own expo, his own income, but he shouldn't overcommit with those banelings. He won't be able to take out the Marines, he should be aware of that. And Strelok, well, maybe stimming a little bit too bit, but those 2 medivacs still have a lot of energy left, so they will be able to heal the Marines. Yeah, the addicts on their way once again, using the drugs, and here we go. Syringe time, and will it be enough to fend off the units of the Zerg player? Doesn't look like it. The swarm is just too strong right now. 52 supply against 29, and that orbital command is about to die. Strelok, what are you doing? Here we go. SCVs finally using that energy to call down mules, boosting his income, trying to get additional army supply. Whoa, 4 mules. And yeah, will he be able to replenish his army? I certainly doubt. Certainly doesn't look like it. 33 army supply against 23 right now. And what can Strelok do? He's on 1-1 supply. Basically all he can do is build Marines right now and a bunch of tanks. But Dimaga is in a beautiful spot with the Banelings. Yes, and tries to take that orbital. And he's able to do so, sacrificing his Banelings. And of course, morphing additional ones need be. And now Strelok is supply blocked as well. He's on 46 supply against 58. And that goal expansion is, of course, a very, very nice thing for Dimaga. And yeah, well, Strelok can't do all so much. Woohoo! Borrowed Banelings! Yes, they're good. At least if you don't scout them, there are additional ones over there. And Strelok right now doesn't have any scan. He has 1 left, but that's about it. So here we go. Infestors are being infestation build is being built. So as soon as Dimaga has infestors as well, this game is probably going to be over. That's the last mineral patches he has. After that, it's GG. No more minerals of you, buddy. There is 1 Zergling being burrowed at that expansion spot. And well, I would actually like Dimaga to put an Overlord over there, because Terrans can move their orbital commands, you know, and there could be an expansion somewhere on that island. So better get an Overlord in that position. But Strelok isn't using that option and just trying to put some pressure on Dimaga's expansion himself. But the Zerg player is already on 71 supply against 56. And there are a lot of Mutalisks. Really a lot of Mutalisks. 12 Mutalisks so far at that point of the game. That's quite a huge number. Strelok is apparently not aware of that goal expansion. He's trying to place it at the bottom, but he will realize that Dimaga has an expansion there himself. At the same time, Strelok now trying to attack to take out that hatchery. And actually, Dimaga is sacrificing his base, killing the orbital command of his opponent. He still has the goal expansion, so he's fairly safe in terms of income, producing additional Zerglings right now. And that's all that Strelok has left. So what is Dimaga going to do? 64 against 87 supply right now. We have army supply 57 against 48. Strelok actually isn't that far behind in army supply. So Dimaga should have a huge income right now. He is on 800, 900. Woo! Another Baneling bomb. Burrowed. Very nice bust. And losing Mutalisk. He needs more Banelings, and he is actually morphing 11 of them. I'm not sure. Yeah, all those Marines just babysitting the tanks. Actually very well placed by Strelok, so he's doing a really good job with his unit placement, with his unit control, and well, he's not able to attack with those Banelings head on, but now moving in with the Zerglings. This might be the last attack. Attacking those siege tanks, and now the Marines need to be split, but look at how many units Dimaga still has, and he's able to take out the whole army of Strelok. Strelok GG's, and this is the 1-1. The Zerg player ties the series. Strelok losing game number 2, and Dimaga and Strelok will now continue on map number 3. Okay, party time. Dimaga against Strelok. It's the 3rd game of the StarCraft World.it King of the Hill. Definitely make sure to check out KotH.StarCraftWorld.it. And there's a raffle going on right now where you can win stuff as well. It's not only the 2 players that are fighting for the 100 years that can win at the StarCraft World.it King of the Hill. No, it's also you, the viewers, so make sure to check out the website. And this is another Zerg versus a Terran. We have Strelok in blue once again, starting at the right side of the map. It's Metalopolis. The series is tied right now, and Dimaga will, of course, try to take that 2nd win, as will Strelok. The Zerg player starting at the 9 o'clock start position immediately chose to fly his Overlord to the close air position in order to scout his opponent. And on maps like the MLG version, basically all the versions where you can only spawn either on cross positions or close air, a lot of Zerg players actually decided to scout the cross position with their Overlord first in order to lure the Terran or the Protoss player, whoever, into thinking that they would start on a different position and not on close air. Kind of works sometimes. I've seen, for example, Death Angel from Alien Invasion use that tactic quite a lot, and it surprisingly works very, very often. And double barracks play goes, yeah, well, kind of wrong sometimes. But Dimaga is scouting with a drone right now, and he's being scouted as well. So Strelok is fairly sure where his opponent started. Dimaga once again relying on that fast expansion, basically the same style that he used last 2 games. And of course the Terran player once again is getting his gas. He's not getting the double barracks opening that a lot of Terran players use in order to punish early expansions by Zerg. And as you can see, supply depot is walling off again. The drone not able to sneak out, and that Marine is going to kill it. Did he take the 2nd gas? No, he didn't. Dimaga should probably just try to steal it, and he will be able to occupy that Marine for quite a while, but doesn't even attempt to do so. He's just getting additional scouting information, sees the first mule, and that's about it. At the same time, actually very well done, we have the Terran player getting that tech lab. So he used Reapers on the last map already on Scrap Station, and is using a Reaper once again. Last time he was able to snipe a few Zerglings and drones as well, so the Reaper was actually an addition well worth its minerals and gas. But this, of course, already got the scouting information that you basically want when you are building one Reaper early on. And Strelok is trying to do exactly the same thing. He's scouting his main base, the main base of his opponent, with a SCV at the same time. And of course, Dimaga has a spawning pool by now. He's just using gas, getting additional gas to get his speed. And at the same time, we have Strelok with an expansion play and a factory. So, well, he's kind of playing the same style he did on Scrap Station right now, whereas Dimaga is getting additional drones. which is basically all that Dimaga does. Dimaga is a player that isn't too aggressive early on. I have to admit that I was a little bit surprised when he was using that roach play on the first map on Xel'Naga Caverns, when he was trying to push his opponent with 6 roaches while droning up. And Dimaga usually doesn't do that all too often. He sometimes uses strategies like that to throw off his opponent, which is especially good if you are playing a best of 5 and not only one game. But usually Dimaga will try to get into the macro game. He will try to get a huge advantage in economy, and after that just try to overwhelm his enemy with units and with his superior macro play. He has 3 queens right now, so he's kind of safe against banshees as well. We have once again Infernal Pre-Igniter for his opponent, so we have Strelok again with blue flame Hellions, and Dimaga himself with the Zerglings and additional drones, just getting his speed, relying on Lings, and is getting, of course, 1 Spine Crawler. He should probably build another one. Metalopolis is a little bit like Xel'Naga Caverns in terms of the natural expansions, because there's just that huge area around the natural expansion that you have to defend. And this is kind of tricky when you are, for example, a Protoss player facing a Zerg player, because you have to use so many force fields in order to wall off. But as a Zerg, it's also basically the same situation if you are facing a really aggressive Terran player that tries to sneak into your economy line with blue flame Hellions. Because with that extra damage to light armored units, Hellions are just so effective against drones, and you don't want to lose too many drones early on, because it's, yeah, well, basically rapes your economy and cripples it. So we have 44 supply against 48 right now, and another supply depot being built, wall off just a little bit. There's that one neutral supply depot on the map, and that's being integrated into a lot of maps in order to prevent Terrans and Protoss players from just walling in their opponent, their Zerg opponent. And yeah, I actually think that's a really good thing to do. But now we have those blue flame Hellions by Strelok. Strelok trying to get aggressive while at the same time getting once again that medivac. And as you can see, he's already preparing for that tank push that we've seen earlier. And here we go, 7 Marines and the Hellions, so he's trying to drop into the main base of his opponent, and will Dimaga be ready for that? He's getting a 3rd base, he's getting that Spire, and as you can see, he is on 9 army supply against 21 worker supply. He has a huge, Dimaga has a huge lead. As you can see, the overlay is a little bit fucked up. Very sorry about that, but Blizzard seems to put those players up sometimes really random places. And the first overlord is down. Dimaga is supply blocked. The Hellions are trying to attack the expansion, but all those Zerglings pressuring the Marines. He has to retreat with that medivac, and the Terran play is not able to get into the main base of the Zerg player with all those Hellions, but now using that elevator play. And this is tricky. He really needs that medivac. He needs to put those Hellions on top of that cliff, but trying to abuse the cliff mechanic, and now retreating. The 2 queens are a little bit too much for him to deal with. Dimaga doing an awesome job at defending against that push, and Strelok not too sure if he really wants to commit to it. As soon as he drops those Hellions onto the cliff, any approach by the Zerg player will either fail or kill at least half of the army of the Terran player. So Strelok not too sure if he really wants to engage, is now just trying to put some pressure on the Zerg player and retreating after that. He's on 76 supply right now, 88 for the Zerg player, and this expansion is done. So right now Strelok knows about the 3rd base of his opponent, and he's preparing for that push with his tanks. He already has 4 additional Hellions in the mix. No, he doesn't. Those are the initial 4 Hellions. I was already wondering where he built all those factory units with just using 1 factory. So it would really have been kind of nice trick. Double building siege tanks. But no, we're not playing single player. This is still the multiplayer of StarCraft 2. And we have, a lot of Marines. No combat shield though. Stim is ready. 90 Marines, 3 tanks, and of course, those Hellions as well. What is... Oh, no! Oh, damn. He's losing... Actually, he's losing only 1 Hellion. I thought he would lose a lot more. But he's a little bit too overeager with those Hellions, and of course now Dimaga trying to snipe the Hellions. He wants to kill the threat that those units pose to his Zerglings, because Zerglings is basically all he has right now apart from those Mutalisk. As you can see, there are 37 Zerglings, +1 attack is on its way. And with 100 supply right now, Dimaga is 110 supply. Dimaga is in the supply lead, but Strelok is getting his 3rd base as well, and he's getting upgrades. He's getting the combat shield, he's getting the +1 attack upgrade, is adding additional barracks, and now we see that armory that we were missing on Scrap Station. He wants to build to get more upgrades for his army, and he's researching the armor for his bio units right now. Well, yeah, Dimaga is still just trying to get additional drones. He's on 60 already. He has 52 Zerglings, and he's waiting for the push of his opponent. That's not going to happen. So he's in quite a defensive position, but getting another hatchery. So Dimaga playing it safe once again. That's what he likes. He likes to play it a little bit more slow to get a good economy and a lot of hatches, a lot of bases, and yeah, that's exactly what he's doing right now. He has a beautiful creep spread. As you can see, he's spreading the creep all over the map. Has creep everywhere, and that will give him quite an edge over the Terran player as soon as Strelok decides to push out, which he's doing right now. So we have 3 medivacs being able to compensate for the damage that Stim is going to deal to the Marine army. And here's Dimaga Watchtower just making sure that there's no goal expansion, that there's nothing at the other side of the map. And Strelok is running back. He needs to defend against those Mutalisks. There are a lot of them already. We have 15. And what the hell is Dimaga doing? He shouldn't approach that army. He shouldn't approach that Marine army with the Mutalisks. Marines with Stim are just so strong against Mutalisks, so that's quite a mistake. And he lost 2 of his air units against that push and wasn't able to deal all that damage. But the Planetary Fortress is already up at the 3rd base. There are 2 missile turrets. I actually think that it would be better for him to get a 3rd one over there, because that area is quite vulnerable to the Mutalisk attack. But Strelok taking his time. He's researching the +2 attack upgrade right now, waiting for the armor upgrade as well. 4 tanks are in the mix. Oh no, it's 6 tanks in the mix. My bad. And 20 additional drones being built at the same time for Dimaga. And I think he's over-droning quite a bit. I mean, have a look at that. He's on 87 drones right now. 87 drones. That's a lot, as you can see. We have 93 worker supply, and against 64, and 108 army supply for Strelok and 81. So Strelok in a huge army supply lead. And it will all depend on the placement, on the ability of Dimaga to move those banelings into the Marines. So if Strelok is able to kill the banelings with his tanks, then then Dimaga will have a lot of trouble in his hands, because Marines are just so strong against Mutalisks, and those banelings really need to deal some damage. They really need to deal some damage, and the Mutalisks, what can they do right now? We have double engineering bay. Oh, and that drop will die. That drop will die. Oh, no. Here we go. Bam. Yep, GG Marines. No chance for surviving. So, well, yeah, it's actually kind of tricky, because medivacs are driven by women, and I wouldn't want to jump into one of these if they are driving over an abyss like that, and that's exactly why. So here come the Mutalisks killing that one missile turret. The Marines trying to help, retreating a bit, trying to lure the Mutalisks into the range of the missile turret, and here we go. Dimaga dealing a lot of damage with the Mutalisks, but at the same time Strelok is pushing out with his army. Strelok is pushing out with that army. He's using scans to kill off the creep tumors. And as you can see, I'm not too sure if Dimaga will be able to defend against that. Here it's the drop on the high ground. Where are the banelings? The banelings are over there now, moving towards the main base, and still the Mutalisks are dealing damage in Strelok's base. The Terran player now needs to run away with those Marines, running into the range of the siege tanks. At the same time, that drop on top of the cliff is dealing a lot of damage, taking out the first evolution chamber and now killing the drones. And still Dimaga isn't doing anything, losing those infestors as well. The hive tech is already on its way, and the Mutalisks taking out the reinforcements, taking out the Hellions. But will it be enough? And here comes Dimaga. So many Banelings, killing everything. The Infestors with a fungal, and now the Thor is dead as well. But in the main base, there is still that small force killing building after building, killing the tech units of the Terran player. But in the end, also the last units of Strelok have to yield, but he was able to deal a lot of damage. They are both on about 9,000 resources lost, and as you can see, we have the Terran player on 130 supply, whereas the Zerg is on 146. Still has a lot of spare minerals and gas, though. And at the same time, we have 2 upgrades for the Marines. Well, yeah, Dimaga trying to get upgrades himself, but still, this is going to be quite a problem for him to deal with. There's a lot of spare minerals and gas as well, but he really needs to reinforce his army because Strelok is expanding again. He's getting the gold expansion, and his income will just skyrocket as soon as the SCVs are starting to mine those rich mineral fields. And of course, the Terran player can get his 3 upgrades. He has a little bit of a problem with his minerals right now, but that will be solved in a second, especially because all those mules are being called down to the rich mineral fields as well. And here we go, +3 attack upgrade. The armor upgrade is not, here we go, is not far away as well. Getting missile turrets and another hatchery for Dimaga. Quite a nice game right now. Both players in a similar situation. Of course, Dimaga had to rebuild some of his buildings. He's getting the +3 attack upgrade for his Zerglings, getting that greater spire as well. And we have 3 additional Infestors being built. He already has 5 of them. That will be 8 in total. And 2 more creep tumors, at least providing a little bit of vision for Dimaga. We have 175-81 supply for the Zerg player right now against 193. And here's the Strelok attacking once again. And will he be able to siege up? Yes, he's sieging up, and there's the attack by Dimaga. And there are not enough Banelings. The Infestors are too slow. But right now the Fungals able to take on a lot of units. Some of the Marines are dropped onto the high ground. There are those Corruptors, but they still have to deal with the Marines. Is there enough energy for an additional Fungal? Well, there is, but the Infestor is not in range for another Fungal. Strelok lost a lot of units, but was able to take out so many Banelings and Zerglings. Is once again in the main base of his opponent with his Marines, and even though the Corruptors are able to take out the Medivacs and the Infestors dealing with the Marines, right now he lost his ability to get the +3 attack upgrade for his melee units, and at the same time Strelok is about to finish his attack and armor upgrade for the Marines. There are 2 Thors already. The Infestors in a bad spot right now, being killed by that Thor. And the Terran player putting pressure onto the base of his opponent, dropping the 3rd base at the same time. And the drop is being cleared by Dimaga, but still Strelok in a very good position with 177 supply against 125. Dimaga still has a lot of spare resources, but it doesn't do him any good because he's just not in a position to rebuild his army fast enough. There are all those Brute Lords though, and they will be able to put quite a number on the Terran player. The main question is, will Strelok be able to fend off those Brute Lords? It doesn't look like it right now because there aren't enough Vikings. But while this army is cleared, Strelok is once again dropping the main base of his opponent, taking out that Spine Crawler and attacking the spawning pool. I think even the Hive will fall to the Marines, attacking the main base of the Zerg player. And of course, Dimaga right now is getting Viking after Viking. He already has 8 of them and is still producing additional ones. Is producing 4 Vikings at once. I am not too sure if Dimaga will be able to defend against that army of the Terran player, and he doesn't have the capabilities of the production capabilities to reinforce his army with additional units. There are 9 Corruptors against 9 Vikings, and the Vikings dealing an awesome amount of damage to the Brute Lords and the Corruptors right now. The Infestors have to fungal. If they are not able to fungal the Vikings, then I think Dimaga will lose all those units. But there's the fungal. The Marines are helping out as well, though. They are attacking right now, taking out Corruptor after Corruptor. There are still Vikings left, and of course the Marines are also trying to take out the Brute Lords now, focusing the air units of Dimaga. Dimaga losing unit after unit, dropping below 100, below 50 supply, has to type GG, and this is game number 2 for Strelok. So we will see another game, and Dimaga now losing the second game, the third game in the series. Strelok taking the second win, and he's one win away from winning that StarCraftWorld.it King of the Hill. Let's jump into the fourth game. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Game number 4, Dimaga against Strelok. And we are once again streaming the StarCraftWorld.it King of the Hill. And this might be the last game. The winner of this series is taking 100 euros. Dimaga is the current champion, and Strelok trying to steal that title from him. He's actually leading against the Zerg player right now. It's 1-2 for Strelok. And we're on Shadow Temple. We are on Shadow Temple, and that Overlord is flying towards the close air position once again, as you can see, and that's exactly where Strelok is spawning. Dimaga at the 12 o'clock position, whereas Strelok is starting at 3 o'clock. And he is building that first supply depot at the top of his ramp, and I suppose that he's going to take the barracks and then the refinery again. He's probably not relying on a double barracks play, because he didn't do it in the last few games. He played a really solid opening with Hellions and well, sometimes Banshees, or just the early expansion that he used on Scrap Station as well as on Metalopolis. And right now we have for Dimaga 15 harvest supply already, and the last matches he just relied on that early expansion, and that's exactly what he's going to do once more. He's on 16 harvest supply right now, placing down that hatchery. Of course, there's that one Overlord, and that Overlord is really important, because with the Overlord you are able just to see if there's anything happening in the vicinity of the expansion, whereas the hatchery itself, while being built, doesn't have any range of sight at all. As you can see, there's just nothing. It doesn't have the ability to scout anything that's happening around it, so there could be a bunker right over there, and that's why that Overlord is so important, just checking out if there's some SCV heading towards the expansion. And with the refinery being finished, Strelok now building Marines, and is of course getting gas for his factory. Might even get a tech lab again and get that scouting Reaper. On a map like that, that's definitely an option, but so far he's just relying on Marines, and we have one scout in the main base of Dimaga. Strelok is just trying to get a glimpse of what's happening. As you can see, we have the extractor ready. 3 of the drones are mining gas for the speed. For the Zerglings, the spawning pool is about to be finished. Here we go. And where's the Queen? Queen number 1 being built. Zerglings as well to deny scouts to take possession of the Xelnaga watchtower in the middle of the map, and Strelok with his factory once again. Here we go, and that Overlord is in a beautiful position. That's exactly where you should put your Overlord if you're a Zerg player and you're facing a Terran on this map, because it just gives you all the information you need. He already knows about that gas up here, and he wants to know when Strelok is taking the second gas in order to get an idea of when the Terran player could get Blue Flame, could get Banshees, or whatever. And so far, Strelok is now just focusing on that starport, but trying to put some pressure onto his opponent with those Marines. He will be able to take the Overlord out. Probably. No, he doesn't. He's retreating with his army. Again, he's just waiting for additional Marines to arrive. And I'm not too sure if he's not a little bit late with that attack, because the speed is halfway done, and the Zerg player, he's just waiting. He's not producing any additional Zerglings just now, because he's not too sure how many Marines there really are. I think Dimaga should pay a little bit more attention to what's happening, because right now we have a Hellion as well on the field joining the Marines, and now the Zerg player doesn't have enough units to defend against that push. I think Dimaga is in quite a lot of trouble right now. Lost his Zerglings already. The Queen is down. The second one being attacked. The Zerglings pop, but there is still that Hellion, and the Hellion abandoning the Marines. That's really a bad Hellion. Not helping out the Marines, but now attacking once again with the additional reinforcements on the main base, and Dimaga already lost a fair amount of units. I mean, he lost 2 of his queens, he lost a fair amount of Zerglings as well, and Strelok was probably surprised how much damage he was able to deal with that attack. Dimaga just didn't believe that Strelok would actually commit to this attack and just thought, okay, he's poking, he just wants me to build additional units. And those units are on the field right now and are able to surround the army of Strelok. But Strelok, yes, here we go. Oh my god, I really thought for a second that he wouldn't actually use that second supply depot to fend off that attack. Well defended by Strelok with that medevac. He just was able to rescue that one Hellion and the Marine. And yeah, Dimaga actually building a lot of units. That's a lot of Zerglings. 28 Zerglings, 16 Zerglings, 28 Harvesters, 29 against 26. And now Strelok is getting that command center. Strelok is getting that second command center and at the same time trying to kill that Overlord. And with the help of the medevac, he will be able to take the Overlord out. There we go. Dimaga being supply blocked. And the Zerg player right now just getting his queens again. And of course, losing those 2 queens that early is really something you don't want to happen as a Zerg player, because you need that energy. You just need all those lava. You need those lava, and as you can see, Dimaga right now is on 600 minerals, and that's mainly because he didn't have the lava to build units, to build drones, to drone up, to get the units that he needed, and he's just doing the Zergling dance right now, and actually looks kind of cute. It's really weird. I think with 1 or 2 B I would probably see shapes or even signs in those running Zerglings, but being that sober, I can't really make them out all that well. It looks kind of weird though. I have to look at something else. This is really disturbing. Okay, so focus. The second extractor coming up at the expansion. We have more queens being built. He's actually he knows about the Banshee already, and therefore he tries to get additional anti. He already has 3 queens, and with 3 queens, that Banshee won't be a problem at all. Doesn't have a single kill. Is now just retreating, and at the same time, well, those Zerglings are still dancing, still scouting, and of course there is one Viking trying to take out Overlords. Trying to take out Overlords, maybe kill the occasional flying supply depot for the Terran player. Is there enough energy for a transfuse? Not right now, nope. 1 Overlord is already dead. The second one will probably die as well. Yes, Strelok doing a good job, and he will probably be able to kill a 3rd Overlord as well while placing down his expansion. Yeah, here we go. So the 3rd one will probably die as well. And at the same time, the orbital command number 2 of Strelok is being placed at the natural, so he will be able to get additional mules and mine out of 2 bases, and is actually able to save that Viking with 8 hit points. Very well done. 67 supply right now for the Zerg player, and he has to rebuild all those Overlords. At the same time, the Terran player is on 72 supply. We have an army supply of 39, 42 against 7, and here comes that drop play by Strelok once again, and Spire is halfway done for the Zerg player. Lairtech is ready, Baneling Nest is up, and the speed is being researched. There's not enough army for Dimaga right now, and he's losing a lot of units. He needs to rebuild Zerglings, he needs to get Banelings. Oh, he's losing that extractor, no more gas. And he needs to defend, and it actually hurts. That really hurts to watch that, because he's losing his queens. He doesn't have enough energy. He has 1 transfuse, that's all there is. And those drones, oh, the transfuse is gone. No, there's another one. He has 1 additional transfuse, and now with the help of those Zerglings, he's at least able to force Strelok to retreat, but with a medevac with 14 hit points, he still managed to escape with those Marines. And now the siege tanks are in position. They are not sieging up just yet, and here we go. I don't think Dimaga will be able to hold this. He needs to pull the drones. He's losing a lot of them. The first siege tank is down, the second one dying as well. And now there are only a few links left, and the drones are killing the Marines. But at what cost? How many of them did he lose? The second attack is going on as well. And there are 22 workers killed right now. Oh my god, Strelok being able to kill 22 workers. There are Mutalisks on the field, but with that many Marines, he will be able to defend against those Mutalisks. Worker supplies 39 against 36. The Mutalisks are dying one by one. He needs to pull those drones once again to defend, and the Marines are dying with the help of the drones. The Mutalisks are able to clear that attack, but as you can see, there's only 36 supply left for Dimaga, 69 for Strelok. Strelok mining out of 2 bases and has already replenished his army. There are 12 Marines, 2 siege tanks, medivacs and Hellions. And the only thing that Dimaga is going for him right now are those 3 Mutalisks, and they won't be able to do anything at all. They won't be able to defend against that push. They won't be able to deal damage themselves, and this is a horrible situation for Dimaga. This is horrible for the Zerg player, because Strelok is pushing out once again. Yes, combat shield ready, stim is ready, of course, +1 on its way. Siege tank with a siege tech technology, and this is it. This has to be it. I have no idea how Dimaga is supposed to defeat again defeat that against that push. I mean, just have a look at that. He's 36 supply behind. He now has Banelings with speed. That's something, but still, the creep spread is not too bad. Too bad either. But honestly, I don't think that Dimaga will be able to kill that many units. Here we go, and the Marine split is quite nice. Very well done by Strelok. Strelok taking out Dimaga with 3-1. Dimaga losing that best of 5 series, and Strelok is the new StarCraftWorld.it King of the Hill, taking home those 100 euros. Congratulations to Strelok. Very, very well done. And Dimaga was defeated in his second game in the King of the Hill. Congratulations to Strelok, and we will see him next week facing another opponent that we are of course going to announce as soon as we know who is going to be. Thanks guys for tuning in, and I see you next Thursday at 9:30 CEST.